Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I'm becoming more hirsute, as you can see. Growing the full beard out again. Mrs. prefers it apparently. I don't know what that says. She likes me hiding my face. But here it is, yeah. I can't do the handlebar tash. I have gaps here. I'd really love at one point in my life to do a handlebar tash all the way down. But it ain't gonna happen. Because I have these gaps. First world problems, eh? Right, so a few pickups, what I've been playing lately, and not so much VR malaise, but just, you know, some honest recognition of the limitations of VR. And I haven't been playing it that much the last few weeks, and there's specific reasons for that. It's not that I've gone off it at all, but it's interesting to talk about, I guess, because I didn't want to be a sycophant for VR. You know, I've done a hell of a lot of VR content on this channel, and I know a lot of people aren't specifically interested in it. So yeah, I just wanted to do kind of an honest appraisal of the kind of, you know, some of the, not so much negatives, but concessions that I can make to VR. I don't know how to describe that. But anyway, first pickups. So yeah, the missus is really into Final Fantasy, and she wanted to try the newest one. So we got Final Fantasy 15. And so far I think she's enjoying it. She's not massively far into it, but yeah, that's for the missus mainly. I'm sure I'll get around to that at some point. But I haven't played a single Final Fantasy game. And as an avowed RPG fan, I know that is heresy. They're all there waiting for me. I will get to Final Fantasy games eventually. It will happen. We'll start with the old ones, I think. Yeah. So there's that. Right, so yeah, pickups first, I guess. I don't know if I actually mentioned these in pickup videos before. This is really more of a kind of, well, this one I definitely have. Okay, haven't. This one I picked up the other day off eBay, and it's Doom VFR, virtual fucking reality, man. Doom. Bethesda had a little VR kick. Obviously Skyrim VR, and they also released Fallout 4 in VR on the PC. It's rumoured that that's coming to PSVR eventually. We don't know yet, it's not confirmed. But they also released Doom VFR, and it's a reworking of Doom from the ground up for VR. Some people have struggled with the controls of it. Apparently it's intended to be played with the Move controllers, but it takes a little bit of getting used to. A lot of fans before release pressured them to put full locomotion in there, as opposed to only teleportation, which a lot of people don't like, although this game was designed with teleportation in mind. They added free locomotion, and they added aim support, that's the gun peripheral, and DualShock 4 support. So it's more accessible to more people now, but I'm going to definitely try and play it on the Move controller mode. Because apparently, yeah, that's what it's designed to be experienced as, and I want to get the most out of it. So I think I'll play this with the Move controllers, but yeah, it looks fantastic apparently. Well, from the footage I've seen, it does. I've not actually stuck the headset on yet and played it, as it only came this morning. But yeah, happy to have that finally. Only got like for 12 quid. So yeah, that was pretty sweet. Okay, so this is really mainly now games I've been playing this next section. So, because I think I've mentioned all these in pickup videos before already. But so yeah, I've been playing Abzu, as you can see, £12. That's like a kind of trippy, kind of psychedelic, kind of really pretty explore 'em up. You know, the levels are just really abstract, and it's, you know, reminiscent of kind of Flower or Journey, that kind of thing. You know, just kind of this pretty adventure. So far, it's fun. It's fairly basic. There's a certain puzzle element to it. But it's just a really chilled out, relaxed game to play, and it's certainly an antidote to the kind of more action orientated games I've been playing lately. So Abzu, not bad at all. I jumped on board with Destiny 2. I got this because a good friend of mine plays it, and we wanted to play online, and so yeah, I got through the campaign, really enjoyed it. It's a nice, substantial campaign. Which was good, because of course the first Destinies was famously kind of undercooked. Of course they added extra stuff, but I never got the downloaded the DLC extra for Destiny 1. So it's nice to have a full campaign, you know, in the box, you know, from launch. and I really enjoyed it. It's Halo through and through with bells on. I say with bells on, it's actually taking some bells off. There's less vehicle action in Destiny. So yeah, in Halo you had some epic kind of vehicle sections. There's not really a lot of that going on in this game, but obviously there's other stuff in there, the upgrade system and all the rest of it, the RPG elements, really addictive. Seeing those hit points, getting those incremental increases in your armor and your weapons is quite addictive. Yeah, so it's a really good game, and started playing a little bit of it online. I know that's kind of a lot of people's main draw for this game. It wasn't for me at all, but happy to be able to play this with my friend online. We do the strikes. I do enjoy the strikes, those big boss battles. In the first Destiny, I liked the strikes, but I never really did them very well. I didn't seem to get paired up with anyone, so I'd end up trying to do these strikes by myself and getting absolutely slaughtered. So that quickly wore off. The appeal quickly wore off for me, and I traded it in quite early, the first one. But yeah, happy to get that and start playing it in earnest. So a little while back, the missus was playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and I basically watched her play it, and it looked really good, and it helped me make my decision to wait on getting a new telly, because I thought, if this looks that good on my telly, I'm not missing out too much, I can wait. So anyway, Mrs. has been playing that. I also walked in on her playing Here They Lie on the TV. Now this was originally intended to be VR only. As you can see, it says PlayStation VR required, as opposed to just compatible, which some of them do say. I don't think I have any of those in front of me right now. But originally, yeah, you could only play this in VR. They later added a patch so you could play it on the telly. And I came home from work one day to find the missus playing this on the telly. And it certainly loses a lot of its appeal on the telly, of course, because that sense of presence, that added sense of kind of danger, that fear that you get in VR, from feeling like you're in those, that scary environment, is the main draw for it, really. It looked alright on the telly. There's not a lot to it. It's very simple gameplay, at least the section that I saw playing. And I haven't got around to it myself in VR, but I certainly will, because scary games work very, very well in VR, and I've talked about this before. I think don't need to go into that again, but yeah, Here They Lie. Right, so this is what I've been playing lately, and I'm really enjoying it. It's Dishonored 2, that stupid misspelling of Dishonored. What they're doing, Americans. Love the first game, and this is more of the same. Beautiful graphics. I love the style of it, and all the upgrades, this kind of supernatural powers you get. The focus on stealth, I really like that as well. I've definitely found myself having restarted levels from scratch to try and get through them without killing anyone. Getting through without being detected is fucking difficult, and I'm clearly not good enough at this game yet to do that. But I have managed to get through a few levels without killing people, so I'm going to try and do that. The benevolent player. I'm going to try and be, leave as little trace as possible. But anyway, yeah, really enjoying this game, and yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. The last few weeks has gone back to TV gaming. I haven't been playing VR as much for a few reasons. Well, mainly I work long shifts, so after 12 hours, when you get home, you're not necessarily going to feel energetic enough to play VR, because you actually need a little bit of energy. Most of my favourite VR games are where you're standing up, and after a 12-hour shift, you just want to laze on the couch and lie back and be, do something like, not physical. So VR, you kind of, from a lot of the games, certainly for my favourite games on VR, you need a bit of energy, so it's not suited for every play session that you're going to have available to you. So yeah, after work, it's not always suited to what I want to be doing. I've also been spending a lot of time with the missus at home. We've had a lot of days off together, time off together, which has been really nice. But VR is really antisocial. So that's another reason why I haven't been getting around to VR lately. It's one of the other kind of, not drawbacks, because it's horses for courses. You can't call it a negative, because doesn't matter. But yeah, VR is a little bit antisocial. So you stick that headset on and maybe even the headphones, and you're basically not there from the perspective of anybody else in the room. You know, you can't properly interact with them. Saying that, sometimes we've both been doing our own thing, and I've been playing VR but without the headphones, and we can still have conversations. But not for all games. Some games you need to hear what's going on, like Skyrim, of course. I have been playing this a little bit still the last few weeks. I'm still really enjoying it, but again, it's just on the back burner for a time being. Yeah, for a game like this, though, you kind of need to hear what the characters are saying and what's going on, and, you know, listen out for enemies around you, that kind of thing. So you can't really, you need your headphones, or you need to have full attention directed to the game. So basically, a lot of VR games can be quite antisocial. So that's another reason that I've not been playing it as much lately. Yeah, and it's weird. Going back to the TV gaming, it's weird. When I was almost exclusively just playing VR games, I found that when I played 2D games, they felt a little bit underwhelming. Obviously, they're not 3D. You don't have that depth perception and all the rest of it. So there was something slightly flat about playing on the telly that I don't want to say it was off-putting. It's probably a bit of a stretch, but I noticed it anyway. I noticed the difference. But you get acclimatized to whichever way of gaming you're doing, I guess, and that's not a problem at all. But yeah, so there's been a bit of a lull as well. I haven't been buying many VR games lately. There has been a bit of a lull in releases. This is kind of standard, I think, after Christmas, the New Year. It's traditionally quite a quiet period in game releases. There's been one or two little things here and there, but really, yeah, I mean, we got Skyrim, and you could even argue we got Doom VR, and those were the big releases in December. And yeah, there's a bit of a lull now because we're waiting on the next big thing, I guess. But because Skyrim's going to last fucking ages, but I've mainly been going back to Spark in between Skyrim sessions. Spark's just fantastic. Yeah, it's that kind of dodgeball V Sports. It's just got such a fantastic sense of presence, and you know, the physics is so tangible. You know, your connection to your skill and your connection to how well you're doing in the game is just spot on. Really good game. So I've been going back to that a lot, and thankfully Spark has got cross-play now, so there's a lot more people available to play it, because I can actually play with people that are playing VR on the PC through the Vive or the Rift. So that's really good, and that's happening for a few games, cross-platform support, and that's really necessary because there is still a relatively small pool of players playing VR, so you want obviously that to be as large as possible to maximise your chances of getting a game. And yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, I have kind of held off on buying VR games lately. Doom VR being the exception. For a couple of reasons. There's the lull, but also there's been a bit of a trend, and I've spoke about this briefly before, and that's that VR games seem to be getting, some VR games seem to be getting physical releases sometime after they've been released on the store digitally. And that's really frustrating because, yeah, I've bought a couple of games in the past. I think it was, what was it called? Don't Knock Twice and Theseus. Two games that are really cool. Just finished Theseus actually the other day, and that was a lot of fun. But it's got a physical release now, and I've got it on digital. So I'm waiting now. I'm not going to buy any VR games for a while. I'm going to give them time to gestate and see if those games that I was interested end up getting physical releases, because that's how I prefer to have them. So I'm trying to hold off. I'm trying to cut back, because I did go through a spate that lasted several months of buying a shit ton of VR games. It's very seductive, more seductive than regular games in regards of in regards of like wanting to, you know, feeling compelled to see what the next game feels like to be in. You know, when you're actually in those game worlds, to kind of go to another place, another game world. That was a really seductive feeling. So you want to see what the next one's going to feel like, and be like to be in there, because they've all got their own flavour, of course. So I bought a shit ton of VR games, to the point where my 1 terabyte hard drive is already nearly full. I'm having to juggle games already on the PS4 Pro's hard drive. I think I'll have to get an external. I know you can do that. I'd much rather get an external hard drive, I think, than delete stuff, because I'll just forget what I've got, and that's just, who needs that? But yeah. So yeah, definitely cut down on the VR gaming the last few weeks. Again, not because I've fallen out of love with it, just because I've been chilling with my missus and there's been less coming out, and been getting into a few of the TV games again. So yeah, because I had been putting them off. I've got quite a lot of these, regular traditional games, and put them off thinking I'll play them on the new telly when I got that. That's not happening for a good while yet. So I thought, I'm not sitting on these for another year or however long it's going to be. So I got cracking. And yeah, it's alright, it's fine. I'm not missing out too much, I think. Yeah. But yeah, really enjoying Dishonored 2. That's the game I'm playing mostly at the minute. And that's about it really for this video. 16 minutes, that'll do. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Bye bye.